Local Gayliens podcast, where things get weird and they stay weird. I'm Brandon.
I'm Ashton, and this is a paranormal podcast where we talk about ghosts and aliens and Bigfoot and all the things, but still keep it funny.
Yes, everything. And yeah, today I think you have a story for me, so I'm excited. I'm nervous to see what you came up with because I don't know. The last episode I felt was like so good, and I'm like,
oh, you don't think my episode is going to be good?
No, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be great. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And the spirits have found us.
The spirits have spoken.
All those books just fell over. It's a ghost. It's definitely not because we readjusted.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with me readjusting my mic. Of
Absolutely
course not.
What? That would be crazy.
I mean, it's a paranormal podcast, not a realistic podcast.
Duh. Oh my god. Duh. Let's just leave it. Screw it.
It's fine.
Oh my god.
That's character.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right, so today we're going to talk about witches in Ohio.
Oh my god.
And I'm not talking about all the Instagram girlies out here.
No offense,
doing their
Instagram
witchcraft.
girlies.
I'm talking about like back in the 1600s.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like old school.
Old school witches.
Like taking the village children.
Yeah,
Hocus
like our
pocus.
ancestor witches.
Ooh. What if I'm
What?
related to one?
I hope I'm related to one. I've kind of always wanted to go to Salem and do the whole, like, people can, like, I don't know.
Have you never been?
No.
I've been to Salem.
And why didn't you take me?
It's amazing. I know. Me and my friend went there. We went up to Maine, and then we were like, okay, well, since we're going back home, let's just stop in Salem. We'll fly out of Salem. And you would be grossly obsessed. Like, I would have to drag you out. Yeah.
I probably want to not leave ever.
Yeah, they have witch stores, like, everything.
I do follow this, like, apothecary spa on Instagram in Salem.
Yeah.
And, like, they do, like, an actual, what's that movie? The Three Witches, the Disney movie. Is it Disney? That we watched when we were younger.
Disney?
Is it Disney that made that movie?
Hocus Pocus?
Yeah. Did Disney make that?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's like, they do, like, a Hocus Pocus, like, themed, like, spa day.
Oh, that would be cool.
I know.
That would be really cool.
I'm like, I want to do that for my birthday one year.
I would love, that would be cool.
Yeah.
You would absolutely love Salem. It is very witchy. We went close to fall too, like pretty much in fall, and it was...
Best time of year.
It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
It was pretty, Go to Salem. We'll go.
Okay.
We'll make it a trip.
Well, speaking of Salem, the witch trials started May 26, 1647, when Owls. When Owls Young was put to death in Hartford, Connecticut. That's not Salem, Massachusetts, but it's close.
It's close. It's
like,
close.
Speaking
Speaking
of Salem.
of Salem, in Hartford, Connecticut. No, girl, you're crushing it. I love it.
Well, she was the first person to be hanged as a witch, and then, drifted into Massachusetts. But she, she set the stage for hangings. And then in Salem, Massachusetts, there were over 200 people accused of practicing witchcraft and 20 people, at least, that died.
Holy crap. So 200 people in Salem, they were basically like, you're a witch.
Yeah.
And only 20 of them ended up getting taken out?
Well, yeah, because they had to, go on trial, and, it wasn't just, people were running around, my neighbor's a witch, or, because they didn't like something, or they wanted to steal their land or something.
I was about to say,
So there was, a lot of accusations, but they actually had to, were the trials legit? No.
Yeah.
But, they still had to do, some form of a trial to, actually be accused.
I love that we went through a period in time where it was just I love that cow. You're a witch.
Literally.
Literally. Hey, nice farm.
I can't sleep anymore. My neighbor has cast a spell on me.
I really like your barn.
I don't know, maybe, bitch, it's your fucking attitude, okay?
I really love your barn. I thought I saw you dancing naked in the forest. A witchcraft, maybe?
I know, like, why would they want to stop women from dancing naked in the forest?
Listen, if I could dance naked in the forest,
I'm here for it.
I'm in.
I would do it. I would watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing it for anyone else. I'm definitely doing it for me, because like no one wants to see this.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I do, but
okay, well, I'll dance naked for
and
you.
people on Twitch do.
Right here. Yeah, all my friends on Twitch. You want to see me naked? Oh my god. I'm just kidding. You can see my tits on Netflix.
True.
You can.
Yeah. But so a century after the Salem Witch Trials like ended, or so we thought.
Ooh.
Bethel, Ohio had its own witch trial.
Really? Here in Ohio? Ooh.
And if you thought the trials in Salem were sketch, wait till you hear this one.
You know, honestly, I'm not even shocked. Leave it up to Ohio. Leave it to Ohio to be like, we can top that.
Yeah. They're like, well, so basically, like, well, I'll just get into it.
You're good.
So, I was going to say something, but then I'm going to end up probably needing to repeat it anyway, so.
Why, because I'm stupid?
No,
are you saying I'm stupid?
Because it's a part of the story.
Okay, fair.
It's in chronological order.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up your groove.
I'm ADHD.
It's okay. Me too, undiagnosed.
Same.
Yes.
We're like only undiagnosed things.
Yeah, we're
here.
posers.
We're posers. Okay, well, in 1805, after, I think it was like 2 years after Ohio became a state, there was a family called the Heidelbrand family. And if you want to kind of like understand where they lived near two state routes that meet in Claremont County. And they had two older daughters who were described as, I quote, young women grown.
So, okay. So
I
they
don't actually really know like what age they were, but they were young women grown.
Do you know what? I think what this is saying is they were like teenagers, but they were
ready.
They were like
to be married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
They were underage guys.
Yeah, like they were young, but they were developed.
Yes.
So I think that's just like an old timey way
of being like she was young, but she had tits.
Yeah, like oh my God, like get it together.
Yeah. Well, so the girls began acting out and then claimed to be possessed by evil spirits. So some of the things they would do, honestly, this sounds like a normal teenager to me.
I was gonna say me when like the pizza's late.
Yeah. That's like one of the things they would do. They would scream. They would be scared of objects and beings that they couldn't, I put that in quotes if you're listening, beings that they couldn't see. And I'm like, a teenage girl with anxiety is scared of everything. Especially when she's being called a young woman grown.
Yeah. Like, doth thou seeth thy cucumber? Ah!
Or like someone walks around the corner and they jump. I feel like that's just a normal reaction. It doesn't
me every day of my life being literally the most jumpy person on the planet.
You would have definitely been
a
considered
witch. Oh my God.
No, not a witch. You would have been possessed by one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because like these girls were overtaken by evil.
By evil. They weren't evil. They were just possessed.
Overtaken by something evil. So apparently their experiences were so bad that it prevented them from doing their daily tasks or being prospects for marriage, because I guess people don't want to live with a screaming girl.
Wait, were these sisters?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like, was it schizophrenia?
I mean, it could have been.
But both of them? What are the odds?
And, like, schizophrenia, like, runs in families.
Yeah, but, like, what are the odds?
It definitely shows up more in men, but, like, it's possible.
Yeah. I mean...
And I'm sure they weren't, like... I don't even think schizophrenia was a thing in 1805.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
But we're not going to act like we know.
Yeah.
Okay? Google it.
Comment if you know.
Yeah. If you find out, please leave us a comment and tell us because we are not doing the
Educate our
research.
asses.
Yeah, we're not doing the research.
So
Hold on. Oh, you thought we were educated? Wrong podcast.
Wrong podcast. Oh, so obviously the Heidelberg family was very desperate. They didn't want this to be happening to their daughters. So, in an act of desperation, they decided to try and trap the being that was harassing their daughters with dun 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 magic.
Magic? Wait, they were going to use...
No, it's so contradicting. It's so... Don't even get me started.
You're going to use magic. Okay, something you're totally against.
Yeah.
You're going to use it to try to save these
like,
girls.
Girls were literally being hung for thinking they were using magic. And then you're like, we're going to use magic to get rid of the magic that was inflicted on our daughters. It's okay when we do it, but not when you do it.
Make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Like, ugh.
But this form of magic is called apotropaic magic. I think I pronounced that
Apotropaic?
right. Yeah, so it's basically like a type of magic that wards off like evil misfortune, harmful influences. So like think of like if someone wears like an evil eye necklace, or they do like rituals, or like when they write like sigils on things.
Sort of like practical magic.
Yes.
Like things that are like...
Yeah, it's not like you're sitting down with salt sprinkled around you
right.
and a candle, like...
Just like small little...
It's just like, like carrying something, like a crystal in your pocket that's gonna like help protect you.
Gotcha.
Things like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So maybe that's why it was okay for them to do it, because they were like, this is practical.
Yeah, like this is like... this is like objects that we found.
This makes sense. It's a rock that protects me. Duh.
We're just going to hit them with a rock.
Yeah.
But we're going to write on it, get better soon.
Yes.
Get well soon.
Get well
rock.
soon.
I'm just kidding. I'm being a smartass. But like, I mean, it is really funny to me how contradictory they are. Like, they're saying, we're going to kill you because of this magic, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to use a different form of magic that we believe is good to try to fix you. Like, that's bullshit. Yeah. Like, people died.
Literally.
There's people dying, Kim.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, basically, what they created was called a binding bag. So, I found there's literally an article about this.
Bag? It's just a condom.
It's called The History of Claremont County, Ohio, and it's like basically like an old like a newspaper magazine thing that they wrote an article about this event. So this is quoting from that article. A large bag of linsey woolsey was made and held by a member of the family while the other members went through some ceremony. It literally says some ceremony. At the conclusion of which it was supposed the witch had been forced to take refuge in the bag, which was quickly closed and after being firmly tied was carefully laid on the porch of the house, where it was cut into 1,000 pieces with a sharp axe. The fragments were then gathered together and burned, and one would surely suppose that if the witch had perchance escaped death while the bag which confined was cut into fine shreds, the fire would put an end to its existence. So basically, they think this witch spirit is trapped in this bag. They cut her up and then just in case that didn't kill her, they could burn it.
Jesus,
wouldn't it have been easier to just burn it?
Yeah.
Like I feel like chopping it up is gonna release the spirit. You're literally putting a hole in the bag.
You're putting a hole in the bag.
Yeah.
These people were dumb, is what we're.
Yes.
Like what we're saying is these people were stupid. So, what was the bag called? A
binding. Oh, so it's called a binding bag, but it was a large bag of a linsey woolsey.
Linsey woolsey. What the?
I don't know. I'm assuming that's just like an old-fashioned way of like whatever the material was.
Oh, gotcha.
That they made it out.
I'm just like, this sounds like a lot of work for something they don't even know is really going to work.
And it didn't.
Of course.
Because, of course, after they performed this ritual, the girls still seemed possessed.
Yeah, schizophrenia.
It's called schizophrenia.
Yeah. Can you really just go back in time and be like, hey, we're just going to save a few thousand
or,
lives?
Honestly, it could even just be a trauma response.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what these girls went through being young women grown.
Yeah, oh, God, it still makes my skin crawl. Oh.
So, as things, like, kept happening to the girls, the spirits apparently made into, like, a material form and appeared to the young women. And they claimed it looked like the neighbor, Nancy Evans.
Damn it, Nancy. Nancy.
Once again, accusing the neighbor.
Nancy's been blaring that disco rock all day. She's been like, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, Nancy, she's a witch.
So, from that point on, it was believed that Nancy Evans herself was the witch.
Yeah.
And all their troubles had been caused by her, so basically she was shunned. They avoided, like, any interaction with her, which, like, don't tempt me with a good time.
I know.
I don't want to talk to my neighbors.
Like, oh no, you're going to leave me alone?
Oh no, you're not talking to me after you called me a witch, boo.
Oh my God, I'm so upset. Oh. You're not going to come over
Nancy
to borrow?
probably didn't want to talk to you guys anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to come over and borrow a couple of eggs? Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh. I got to live in peace. Who wants that?
And I'm like, please accuse me of being a witch.
Yeah. I'm over here like, please leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. So, and then obviously, even avoiding Nancy didn't fix their problems.
Nancy is persistent.
Witches will be witches.
They will. They will.
So.
They don't want to be left alone.
Yeah. And then the justice of the peace was brought to see if Nancy Evans really was a witch.
Okay.
And if she was, then they would expel her from the presence of the afflicted family.
Okay, so pause. Before all of this, before they even are like, this is how we test for witchcraft, right?
Yeah.
Before that, the justice of the peace just shows up. What's he do? Hey, Nance. Hey, Nance. How's it going, girl?
We're getting some complaints next door.
I just have a weird, it's a simple question, but like, are you a witch? And Nancy's like, girl, yes. Like, what? Like,
and then they're like, girl, like, I get it, but like...
Well, you need to stop possessing those bitches.
They're just, yeah. Keep it down a little bit.
They're getting annoying, and like, it's causing some issues with the village.
Yeah.
You know, like... They're running around naked. We don't understand it. Like, we're wigging out.
They're screaming. Their dad can't marry them off and get the
that one over there. Yeah, that one over there was chasing a goat with like a hatchet. Like, we're having issues, Nance.
Yeah.
That's the part that gets me is like, who was the person that was like, this is how you kill a witch, or this is how you.
Well, so that's what I was gonna say earlier.
Yeah.
So basically, it said in the article that they were not prepared for a case of this nature because they never thought that something like this would happen on Ohio soil.
Yeah.
So it was like there was no, like, I don't even know if legal's the right word, but in modern day terms, like a legal way of handling the situation because they genuinely didn't think it would happen in Ohio.
They were like, how did it even get here?
Yeah, so it's not like, okay, you're accused of of being a witch. We have people like assigned to this type of crime, you know?
Like a police force.
Exactly.
The witch force.
But there was a tradition that if a witch were weighed against the Holy Bible, so great would be the overpowering influence of the Bible that the Bible would win and the witch would be tipped. So, like,
Explain this.
Put a Bible on one end of the scale, you put the witch on the other. The Bible, you know, because it's holy, tips the witch up, and that's how you know if they're a witch, is if the Bible outweighs them.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is just gonna make me so angry.
These are our ancestors in Ohio.
I mean, we had to start somewhere, I guess.
I mean, it's better than hanging them.
But, like...
At least we're not killers, right?
I guess, but we're gonna put them...
I mean, we just have, like, ridiculous ways of dealing with things, but at least they weren't like, you're getting hung, honey. Like, you're dying.
But to test that theory, you would think they would weigh every person in the village. Like, I'd be like, okay, we're going to put
well, yeah, but
everyone on the scale, and then the Bible's going to raise up every time.
I mean, that would make sense to kind of just, like,
yeah,
be like, before any funny business happens, we're weighing everyone.
Yeah, because then they would see, oh, this doesn't work. This is it's not possible.
I would really like to know, like, when did they do this and then it happened?
Yeah, I want to see someone get on a scale next to it.
Unless maybe, like, if someone was, like, demonically possessed, because those demons be doing crazy shit.
They really do. Yeah.
So, like, maybe in that instance, but I don't even think it would be because of, like, the Bible. I just think it would be because they can, like, literally
manipulate
climb walls and, like, float in the air and shit, you know?
I mean, so I just, oh God, I'm so upset. Not Nancy.
Not Nancy.
Oh my God, okay.
Poor Nancy. So, of course, they got to work and constructed a pair of scales. All the neighbors were called over to witness the proceeding. And, like, can I just say, to have the entire neighborhood come to see if you're freaking heavy enough to tip the scales on a Bible? I mean, obviously everyone is. But just, like, what, like, a humiliating, like, thing to happen.
Like, oh, I guess everyone's going to watch me be a witch because the Bible...
And this is where all of our eating disorders...
I mean, for real.
Were birthed.
Exactly. The Bible weighs, like, all of 5 pounds. And you're going to put me... I'm going to just...
You're like, shit, I weigh more than the Bible.
Yeah, I'm going to ballpark Nancy here and be like,
Although I guess, like, technically the goal is to weigh more than the Bible, but still.
Well, right. Like, Nancy probably weighed, I'm going to say, like, 120.
Maybe probably more than that. She's like a grown-ass woman.
Yeah. That Bible is not moving. That Bible is going to be completely in the air, which means she's automatically a witch.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
Well, no, the witch would be if she went in the air.
Well, right, she's not going
like,
to. She's heavier. That's what I mean. She will always be down here, and the Bible will always be up here.
Yeah.
So I'm just like... Make it make sense.
You can't be a witch even if you wanted to be.
No. You're like, damn, Nancy's like, I was hoping, honestly.
Yeah. So basically, Nancy was placed on the end of the scales, and then the Bible was placed on the other. And it was decided, Nancy Evans, thou art weighed against the Bible, so try thee against all witchcraftery and diabolical practices.
You know, at that point...
So yeah, it was decided, she's not a witch. Which, like, good for her. But also, like, let's all weigh Nancy in front of the whole freaking neighborhood. Because these two little bitches who are going through freaking all their hormones and shit.
So wait, if the Bible, if you are heavier than the Bible...
Then you weren't a witch.
Then you weren't a witch.
Yeah.
If you're lighter than the Bible, you are a witch.
If you were lighter... You were, like, evil.
Oh, then no one's going to be a witch.
The Bible outweighs evil.
Yeah. Oh, so you were never a witch.
Exactly.
Shit. I'd be like...
That's why I said, like, I would love to know a case when, like, the Bible actually outweighed someone.
Right. I really hope Nancy was just, like, hella smart. And she was just like, these dumb bitches.
Honestly, I think she just wasn't even bothered. Like, what a strong, independent woman. She's
I agree.
I'm comfortable in my body.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if the neighborhood's watching me get weighed. I'm going to show these little bitches.
Yeah, well, also, Nancy's just like, I'm obviously heavier than a Bible.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like Nancy was like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, she's like, clearly I'm not.
Okay, I guess I'll step on the scale.
But also, like, I am a witch, but you'll never know.
Yeah, right. I think that would be me in my head, just so sarcastic. I'd be like, oh no.
Oh no.
I'm so scared.
I'm just gonna, like, be doing spells in my home and everyone's gonna shun me because they're scared of me, but, like, no one's actually gonna know I'm a witch.
Yeah, because they're putting me on this scale and I weigh 250 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
Good luck, Bible. Good luck. Imagine though, just say it was me. Step on the scale. Bible fucking flings me. Boom. And I'm just like flying through the air. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? I'm so skinny. I am so skinny. I'm a skinny queen.
You'd be like flying in the air like,
look how skinny I am.
As they're like, witch.
Witch. And I'm just like, yeah, but I'm a fine ass witch, huh? I'm just like skinny.
You're like in a skirt and you're like, ooh.
Oh no. Light as
like
a feather.
Marilyn Monroe vibes, like in a dress. You get flung up in the air as you're coming back down. You're like, ooh.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Making all those broomsticks rise.
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
yes.
And that's how witches fly. They get on a scale with the Bible.
And that's how it's done.
So basically, since this was done in the name of the law, and
I thought you were going to say the Lord.
well, that too, and the Word of God, you know.
Yeah.
It was conclusive that Nancy was heavier, and it said very much heavier.
Damn.
I know, they're just fucking hating on this girl so
Poor
hard.
Nancy.
Then the book, and she was no longer suspected of being a witch. She was just, it said, a simple old woman who willingly submitted to this novel process in order to bring peace of mind to her neighbors who she sincerely pitied.
She's throwing shade. Nancy's like, I pity you bitches. You dumb.
Literally. And I love how they're like, she willingly
Girl.
You were going to make her do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, don't act like she had a choice.
Alternative was literally being set on fire. Like,
Yeah.
or some shit. Like,
yes.
Yeah, I'm stepping on the scale.
Crazy.
I love that Nancy is shady.
Yeah.
And then I love that they're just like, Nancy's a fat bitch. Like,
and they're like, she weighed very much more than the Bible. No shit. Every human on earth weighs very much more than a Bible.
They were like, Nancy's huge.
And I want to know, like, what did the Bible look like? Because there are different sizes of Bibles. There's the little pocket ones.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
There's, like, the historical giant ones that they read in, like, those Catholic churches.
Oh, yeah. I don't know anything about it.
We don't know.
But I'm just, like, too, like, Nancy doth be eating bread. She doth be eating bread.
And she made that shit herself.
Uh-huh. Nancy be eating.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good for Nancy.
Good for Nancy.
She thick.
Thick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Nancy.
Me too. So, on August 21st, 1953, the Amherst News-Times ran a story on this case, and it's part of their True Tales of Ohio feature. You can find it on page 8 of the Ohio Memory, if anyone wants to actually go look it up. Which I was like,
page 8?
We really have this in, like, our, like...
Can we go to this town?
Bethel, Ohio?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't actually know.
I don't think it's far from us.
I mean, I've definitely heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh, and in this article...
Oh, no.
We're going back to the scales. So Nancy's
God.
on the scale, and someone described the experience watching her in this way. It says, the men let loose and Nancy hit the grass like a ton of brick. The Bible shot several feet out of its sling. Nancy was no lightweight.
The shade at Nancy.
Can we, like, stop hating on her? Like, and honestly, let's think about, like, I'm thinking, like, even, like, my grandma, like, how tiny people were back then. Like, they were just built different.
Yes.
And this girl probably just was, like, a normal-sized woman.
And they're like, she is fat.
Yes. I'm like, the amount of times they're talking about her weight against a Bible.
A Bible. That's my thing. It's like against, they might as well put a sheet of paper on the other side of that and said, Nancy's a huge whale.
Yeah.
This paper weighs a whole half a pound, and Nancy, that bitch is 120.
They're like, oh my gosh, she was a big girl.
She should stop eating.
Ooh.
That's so rude.
Yeah.
So rude. Poor Nancy. What do you do after that, too?
Yeah.
Like, if you're Nancy, you go home, you're just like, man, that sucks.
Although, Nancy gives me the vibes where she was like, I'm comfortable in my body.
Yeah.
All of you are just stupid little peasants.
I love that. She's like powerful.
I mean, it said that she pitied them.
Yeah,
so...
Nancy's got power.
Yeah.
Nancy says, I am a witch.
Nancy is a witch.
She said, you all are screwed after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes, you think that was bad? You think the two girls freaking out was bad? Wait till you get them warts on your nasties.
Yeah.
Wait till I give you warts on your booty hole.
Yes.
You know, like,
yes.
oh.
Yes.
Get it, Nancy.
But even though Nancy was cleared, apparently the hex got worse. And the girls would howl louder. They would wiggle violently and just, like, you know, throw, like, full-on tantrums. And then apparently they would sink into a coma. And then people in the town of Bethel began to look around again for someone to blame, whom the Bible might outweigh.
Ohio.
And I'm just like, okay, like, cool that we're not just, like, running around hanging people, but now we're just fat-shaming everyone.
Ohio.
Like,
do better, you guys. I mean, we've come a long way, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, damn.
We're corn grown.
Yeah.
What do you expect? You know?
Oh, man. Oh, my God.
Oh, but even though, no, like, there's just no record of anyone else ever, like, going under trial in Ohio due to the witch accusations. So, like, I don't actually know, like, it didn't say, like, what ended up happening, like, if the girls just eventually stopped or...
Oh, it didn't, like, finish.
Yeah, so there was, like, there's no record, at least, of other people doing it. They might have, but there's no record of it.
So there's no, like, resolution to these girls.
So the only resolution I found was it did say that the pond in which Mrs. Evans was tried, which was behind her house, is where lowered ground can still be seen directly south of the Evans cabin. So another little, like, dig at her way.
So, like, that fat bitch broke the ground. That's so... Nancy is, like... Nancy is in the universe somewhere just like, these bitches really had it out for me.
She did end up having, like, a good, happy life. A few years after she was accused, her and her family moved to Brown County, and that's where she died, and it said she was respected by all that knew her.
Aww.
And then the Heidelbrand family also moved, and since their departure, witches have never been suspected of again in Bethel. So it sounds like they were the problem.
Oh my God, they were just making that shit up.
Well, making it up, or just, you know, like, undiagnosed mental health.
Yes, yeah.
Or maybe they actually were fucking possessed by a demon. Like,
yeah, it just wasn't Nancy.
Yeah. So weighing witches was a test imported from Europe and the British Isles. Today, there's a place in the Netherlands that you can go and be weighed and certified as a non-witch.
This is my opportunity.
But I'm like, I'm glad they're making light of the situation.
No, this is my opportunity. I want to go get flung.
But I don't want to be a non-witch, and I know I would be.
Well, right.
So I'm not taking it. They're gonna, no.
I just want to see if I get flung. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I'm a witch.
Oh my gosh, how funny would it be though if, like, they had the whole thing, like, set up where, like, some people would, and, like, some people they did, like,
oh my God, could you imagine? That would be the best. I think that would probably be the best day of my life.
Actually, that would be really
not that I'm against the Bible or anything,
and then they kind of like pick and choose what tourists or witches and which ones are.
Like, I obviously, like,
that'd be a fun, like, ride.
Yeah. Like, I have my own religious beliefs, obviously, but, like, could you imagine just, like, you step on there and you start to rise up? You're like,
fuck.
You're like, oh my God. You guys, no, seriously? No, yeah, I just ate some hot chicken. Broke. Yeah, I just ate some hot chicken. I have indigestion.
Yeah.
Like, every excuse. I have diarrhea. It's not what it is. I'm not.
They just instantly... I did just drop a doozy in the toilet before this. No, I'm kidding.
So skinny.
You know, like those poops where you lose like 10 pounds.
Yeah. They just drag your ass off the scale and, like, firing squad. You're like, shit. This is it.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, that's story one.
Good time.
There's another witch story.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so... There was a well-known and well-respected couple named Henry Fisher and Elizabeth Kritz, and they moved to, I'm going to butcher this, Tuscarawas County region, and they moved from Pennsylvania in 1818. One of their sons, George Fisher, married the neighbor, and her name was Sarah Walters. I feel like that's a very common name in Ohio.
Sarah.
And Walters. Like, I feel like Walters is, like, a really big name.
We're finding you. We're going to find you.
And they had a daughter named Mary. So, that spring, after they had their daughter, objects on the farm were, well, no. No. Okay, by this point, Mary was 10. So not the spring after they had their daughter.
Okay.
But the spring after she turned 10.
Spring after she turned 10.
Yes. Objects on the farm were being moved and broken, like, when no one was around. Wind. Duh.
But, like, what were did it say what the objects were? Or, no. Okay, because I'm like,
objects.
Oh, a tractor moved?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know if it was, like, a cup or, like,
right.
Was it outside? Was it were the windows open?
A bale of hay.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
So, Mary, she reported to her parents that she was seeing strange things around the farm. So, the family witnessed window panes inexplicably cracking and breaking.
Okay, that happens.
It's called old windows.
Yeah.
One day, after the entire family had eaten dinner together, they found a partially sawn board in the yard with a bowl of sugar from the cupboard on it, and the saw was still in the board. So it was like half sawed away with the saw still in it and like a cup of sugar next to it.
Bruh.
Like, it sounds like someone had like really low, is it like
blood sugar? Like,
yeah.
Someone was like,
they were like sawing and they're like, fuck, my blood sugar.
Like, I'm gonna need a cup of sugar. I love that you're like, oh, so diabetes? Yeah. Like, someone has diabetes?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know if they're gonna like go for just a cup of sugar. But, like,
hey, they didn't have, like, things, like...
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Sugar was probably, like, what you got back
yeah.
then,
I just think, like, too, like... Also, what would be the purpose of a witch or a ghost?
Like, half-sawing something.
And leaving
like,
a cup of sugar.
Sugar next
like,
to
I want to... Yeah, that's the part I'm like...
some, like, ritualistic type thing.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, while Mary was, like, with other people, she claimed to see ghostly figures riding a white horse on the farm with a ragged dog running behind it. I mean, I guess that could be a little creepy. Especially if you didn't know who they were.
Explain that again?
So she saw ghostly figures, so they looked ghostly, riding a horse, a white horse, with a ragged-looking dog running behind the horse. And it was on their farm. So, like... I don't think it was, like, you know...
Right.
In town, and it was, like...
People around.
Yeah, like, it just wouldn't really make sense, I guess.
Okay.
For someone to necessarily, like, be on the property.
We'll give that to her.
Yeah. So soon, stories of the ongoings at the Fisher farm were making their rounds with the locals. Ooh. And those stories found their way into the local newspaper. And some thought Mary was bewitched, while others believed the entire property was haunted.
Okay.
Which, like, that would make sense.
That I'm, like, in for.
And, like, you know, they say younger kids, she was 10, younger kids are a little more sensitive, so maybe she was the only one who could, like, see the things that were happening.
Right, and, like, I think it's far more believable that land is haunted than just straight to witch. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I don't...
I'm glad that some people's brains were starting to, like, go there.
Yeah. Yeah, because in my head, I'm more like a, and I'm going to bring it up again, a practical magic believer. Like, even like the movie Practical Magic. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe more that type of craft than I would, like, say, The Craft. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, the movie The Craft. Like, that, for me, is a more elevated version of witchcraft. I don't think that is... necessarily something that happens. Mm-hmm. I look more on the practical magic side of it, where I'm like, curses and things like that can happen, and I do believe in them. I just don't believe, like, I can shapeshift and things like that. I don't think that is I don't necessarily believe in that. I do believe in maybe, like, in your dreams, like, you can, like, dream walk and things like that. I believe in that. I just don't know. So for me, I would go definitely haunted property.
Yeah. So a reporting was sent to the farm to investigate, and after 2 of the initial newspaper articles stated Mary was seated at the table eating with her siblings when she appeared to be slapped so forcefully by an unseen entity that she was thrown off her seat. Her grandfather witnessed her being slapped, stating that he heard the slap and saw Mary fly off her chair from the force of it. So I'm like, this is like the Conjuring shit.
Yeah, so the place is haunted.
Yeah. And Mary just happens to be like.
Could you
the
imagine
brunt of
you're
it.
sitting there, you're eating pot roast, and you're
someone
just like
slaps
slaps
you
the shit
so
out
hard.
of you.
You fly out of your chair.
I'm like, oh, that shit's so good to make
Like,
you slap
what
your
was
mama.
she like? Was she chewing too loud for you or something?
Yeah.
Like,
The ghost was like, close your mouth, bitch.
Literally.
The ghost is like, you're a pig.
I'm gonna teach this girl some manners.
Again, there's a theme here, fat shaming.
Oh my gosh, you're so these Ohio towns and these ghosts, man.
We're Midwest.
Oh god.
Quit chewing like a cow, you fat lard. Smack. God.
You're so right. Oh.
I would have been smacked so many times back then. Just me. I go to town. You should have seen me
I'm
at
a chomper.
Yeah, you should have seen me at a Stacy's
Oh my
hometown
gosh.
buffet.
When I would eat corn as a kid, I was disgusting. I would literally, because I love butter.
Same.
And so like I would like eat my whole like cob, and then I would take the empty ass cob and like roll it in the butter and then just
suck it off. Jesus Christ.
Like probably the noises that were coming from my mouth when I ate corn on the cob were disgusting.
Can I
if I had been there, I would have got slapped.
Can you please send me a video of you eating corn on the cob?
Well, I don't eat like that anymore.
No, I want
like
you
an
to.
adult.
I just want you to try it. I just want
try it.
I just want to see this in real life.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I was saying though, like, yeah, me at a Stacy's hometown buffet. I'm going in.
Oh my gosh, I miss Stacy so much.
Going in.
Oh man.
Going.
And now I can't even like walk into a buffet because it grosses me.
It freaks me out. Back then though, they were like a thing.
Oh yeah.
They were well taken
Every
care
Sunday
of.
after church.
Yeah. And God, I loved it. I know we're getting off topic, but we're talking about food, and I got to.
This whole episode is pretty much about witches and food.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah.
Legit. I do want to see you eat corn.
Okay.
Like you were a kid again.
Okay.
I want to see all the joy in your eyes.
And all the corn stuck in my teeth.
Yeah, because you were eating it because you loved it, not because you're an adult trying to be proper.
Well, if I'm being honest, it wasn't even the corn I loved. I would literally just like tear through my cobs so I could dip it back in the butter. It was really the butter. And the cob was just...
It was just there.
It just made it real easy to suck
it was
out.
the best.
It was the best.
Oh, God.
It was...
What did I just say?
It was... Pause. Pause. The cob was just the vessel for the butter. Pause. You're like, I just wanted to suck it off. I just want to suck all that butter off.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Okay. We're getting out of hand over here.
It's fine. I can't wait to see this video.
Okay, so back to witches. During another visit to her grandfather's farm, Mary claimed to see what she thought to be a witch and gave chase after it. I don't know, if I'm like a 10-year-old and I just got slapped at the dinner table, I don't think I'm chasing after something.
I'm gonna go get it.
But like, brave little girl. So
brave or stupid? You just got slapped out of a chair.
I know, but like, she's standing up to it. She's like, I'll go with you.
She's like, bitch, you ain't gonna slap me.
No one's slapping me.
She's what?
Yeah. So her grandfather and siblings followed her, even though they personally could not see the figure that she was claiming to see. So like, she saw it, chased after it, and then they chased after her.
Red flag.
And I don't really know how the distance of rods is, but they gave chase for 50 or 60 rods. Is that feet, maybe?
God, I'm so glad we have adapted new language.
Me too.
I gave chase for 50 rods.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to start talking in my daily life.
Yeah. So eventually, after they were like running, they came up to a fence, and then they noticed on the fence that there were scuff marks, as if someone had like hurriedly tried to like climb over the fence. So they didn't see a human, but they saw scuff marks, apparently. So then the group went back to the farm, only to have Mary tell them that the witch had returned, and she could see her standing near the bake oven. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
See, okay, this is creepy.
So, like, she's like, I see her, but, like, no one else could see her. I don't know.
Ugh.
So, the local paper went to great lengths to state that they believed that Mary, George Fisher, and Abraham Walter were all being truthful in their accounts of the events on the Fisher and Walters farm. I guess they just took their word for it. I don't really know. So the editors claimed that things of this nature had occurred in the area often in the past, which makes me feel even more like the land itself is haunted.
Absolutely. Like, that would be enough for me to say, okay,
Yeah.
it's the land.
Yeah. So the clergy during those occurrences had been called on to ascertain the causes of such pneumonia. Oh, I can't read. It's not pneumonia, it's phenomena. We're editing that out.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Okay.
She was like, pneumonia? She was like, that the pneumonia. The pneumonia. The phenomenon? I'm dead.
I don't know where that came from.
I am dead. She's like, they determined
I'm
that
crying.
the pneumonia? Not the pneumonia.
Okay.
Okay.
So, the clergy during those occurrences had been called on, and he ascertained the causes. I don't even know what ascertained means. He asserted. Okay, hold on. I'm actually crying.
Oh.
Okay. We're ready.
I can't breathe.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. We're good.
Okay. So basically, the clergy came during these experiences and did realize the phenomena that was happening, and then they determined that the cause was troubled spirits.
Good.
Yeah, so basically after that, they just gathered to have like prayer meetings to try to put the spirits to rest.
Oh, okay.
And during this time, often an object was blessed in a manner to serve a suitable place to put the spirit. So kind of like how they had the binding bag in the last story.
Right.
It's like the same thing. Like they had an object to like trap the spirit in.
No.
What?
No.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of so many problems. You know you're not supposed to do that, right?
Oh, I know. That's why there's so many haunted objects that exist
You're like
in the world.
Annabelle.
Yeah. But also, spirit is energy. Where else is it going to go if you don't put it in an object?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's...
Yeah. So, the editors in 1870 implored the local clergy to do the same in the case of Mary Fisher's witch, in quotations. So, was it a witch? Was it demonic? I think they were just labeling it a witch.
Because demonic sounds too intense, probably. They're like, if we start saying it's demonic, people are going to freak out.
It also, like, doesn't sound like... I mean, obviously, some of the stuff that was happening was dramatic, but it doesn't sound like they did, like, a full-ass, like, exorcism.
Right.
So, yeah, so, whether it put the spirit to rest, we don't really know. There were no further articles on it about her paranormal experiences. And then Mary J. Fisher eventually would go on and marry and raise her own large family in Western Ohio.
Get it, Queen.
Maybe the spirits went with her. Maybe they still haunt the land today.
Oof.
I don't know.
Do we have to go to this land? I feel like we need to go to all these places. Like, this
I'm
is...
sure we could find
It's in
it
Ohio. It's
somehow.
doable, you know?
Yeah, we could find it somehow. And I mean, like, out in, like, the country, everyone knows everyone. Everyone knows someone's family. I'm sure we could do some research and figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, stay spooky. Bye.